I'm legit the last person to really come forward and decide, yes, I agree with Apple and I'm going to be the one going forward to defend their decisions, especially when it comes to their recent product launches and releases like the iPhone 14 and especially the iPhone 14 Plus. But you know what, in this case, when it comes to the new iPad Pro for 2022 and beyond, this might just be the first and rare case I'm going on record to say that everyone is wrong. And I personally think the M2 iPad Pro really makes sense and could be worth it for pro users. Let me explain. This is a bit of a hot take, and as much as I low-key agree with Apple in this case when it comes to what they've done with the iPad Pro, let's start with the things that they messed up and didn't really do well this time around. First one out of the gate is the pricing. Yes, as much as they're bragging about the fact that it still starts at $799 for the 11-inch model and £1,099 for the 12.9-inch one with the liquid XDR Retina display, which is really the one you want in this case, the pricing in the UK where I'm based is just a bit too much when it comes to the price hike at £899 for the 11-inch and £1,249 for the 12.9-inch model. Second one is the position of the front-facing camera. It's still in portrait mode and it's not in landscape orientation like what you find on the new 10th generation iPad. Now, you would think that, yeah, this is a pro tablet laptop replacement device with the smart keyboard that allows you to use it in the landscape orientation more often. Having the camera in landscape mode just makes more sense when you're doing things like video calls and just using the front-facing camera overall. But that's not the case with the iPad Pro. Then if we're actually speaking of the smart keyboard, it's not been updated. Yeah, there's no additional function keys that have been added to it, just like what we've seen with the new Folio keyboard on the standard 12.9-inch 10th generation base iPad. So many little things have been missed on this product that it still kind of low-key makes me question why I still agree with Apple this time around when it comes to the iPad Pro. Now look, I've got all my concerns out of the way about the things that I think Apple have missed so far with the iPad Pro. Yeah. Here's where I'm actually thinking Apple have done something to really justify this becoming a lot more pro than ever before. First is the new M2 chip. And yes, this is based on their 2nd generation 5nm process like what we saw on the new Air. And also the performance boost may not seem like that much compared to the already overkill M1 chip, but the increases will come with better optimization when it comes to things like the media engine and also being able to decode and encode video much more faster and more efficiently, and also decode and encode things like ProRes RAW and ProRes, as well as the H.264 and H.265 codec faster and more efficiently. Now, that's a big benefit for someone like myself. This is something that I really think puts the future-proofing and the pro nature to good use on the iPad Pro, and I'm actually low-key still excited for it. Next is recording ProRes video. Yeah, I know recording on the iPad is still low-key a bit silly compared to an iPhone, which is a lot easier and does have updated cameras. But this is something I think comes in handy in a lot more unique situations than you think. Now look, think of someone like myself that is more of a full-time content creator and also a tech journalist that goes to a lot of tech trade show events. If I'm actually using my iPad as a lightweight machine for editing on the go, and I could actually record ProRes straight from the iPad in a quick pinch in certain situations, then boy, that could be a lot more clutch and useful with no file transfer, even without using AirDrop needed straight to my editing machine. And hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. That out of the way, let's continue with the video. But for me, the star of the show is the fact that finally we are getting a pro-level non-linear editing, NLE video editing software coming to the iPad that is none other than DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve is coming to the iPad on iPadOS with iPadOS 16 and not Final Cut Pro. How does that even make sense? This is honestly such a unique turn of events because we've been begging, well, the ones that really use it have been begging, especially iPadOS users on a pro level have been begging Apple to bring their Final Cut editing software to iPadOS. But it's none other than DaVinci Resolve, Blackmagic themselves, that is doing it for us. And this is something that's gonna bring some nice changes for sure. Now look, I'm a Premiere Pro user and the fact that I'm excited about this actually makes me wanna buy an iPad for the first time since the last one I bought, which was the Pro model. And that was the second generation with the 120Hz display with the home button all the way back in 2016 period. It says a lot about what Apple is doing right now, and it makes DaVinci Resolve the most powerful and flexible video editing software around, because guess what? It now works on Windows, macOS, and it's going to be working on iPad OS. And with the information that's been put out there already, the project files are going to be working simultaneously across all 3 platforms. Let me just paint a picture right here. Just imagine having all your media files and your project files from your PC, for example, on Windows, and you can switch over to your macOS laptop like I do, and also onto your iPad. And this is something that's good if you decide to actually use the iPad for light on your feet video editing to have continuously across the board. This legit has me excited, and take it from the fact that DaVinci Resolve is going to be a free software and the Studio Pro version is going to be a one-time only fee with no monthly subscription. Like what you do on Premiere Pro, this is fantastic. When you're a pro to semi-pro video editor like myself, where I'm producing at times 45 plus long form videos in a month, having the flexibility to jump between your desktop, laptop, and now your tablet and get pretty much the same level of video editing performance and accessibility is a game changer. And this is where even price isn't necessarily something you consider, rather the convenience of it paying for itself to get your work done. I'm gonna finish off with 3 things I think will make the difference to this user experience right now. 5G LTE, Wi-Fi 6E, and Bluetooth 5.3. And let me explain something. Apple did a great thing to move what was effectively bringing their smartphone ARM architecture over to MacBooks. And one of the things I love about my M1 Pro 14-inch MacBook Pro is just how efficient it is when it comes to editing, especially unplugged with how silent and powerful it is. It has officially retired my desktop PC from video editing because it's just that damn good. And to have that kind of accessibility now on the iPad is not only great, but I've always wanted a laptop or portable computing device with LTE connectivity where I don't have to worry about Wi-Fi at all. But when I do use Wi-Fi, I have the fastest and the most stable Wi-Fi connection alongside the latest Bluetooth experience for best audio tracking and listening wirelessly is something I really want. So just imagine being able to edit your video project on your iPad, not worry about your Wi-Fi connection. You've got your 5G LTE connection in there, and you can upload your finished project when you're done straight to the internet, the platform that you want. It's something I've really wanted for a long time. This opinion and hot take is not for the light-hearted, but you know what? Sometimes when it comes to pro users and what pro users need, if you look deep into it, this is something where I think Apple are really gonna set the stage for what it should be doing. And apparently, look, it might be a lighter version of macOS that could potentially be coming to the iPads, especially the Pro models. And if that's the case, and you know what? I'm more excited than I thought.